Pennsylvania has new congressional districts, and as you are learning who your new congressman is, congressional candidates are still learning what seats they're running for. One of those candidates joins us now on the Fox 43 Capitol Beat to help us sort through the confusion. State Representative Stephen Bloom of Cumberland County. Thank you for joining us. How confusing have the last 5 weeks been?
It's been whiplash. Whiplash is the best word for it. I was working hard in a 9-county district that was called the 11th district that started in Cumberland County.
Lou Barletta's seat.
The old Lou Barletta seat, and started in Cumberland County, went the whole way up to the Wilkes-Barre area, up into Wyoming County, Tunkhannock, almost to the New York border. And then as of last Monday, suddenly I was told that no, your house is in a different district. It's the new 13th district, which is reminiscent of the old Schuster district, which is also going to be an open seat, but it swings from Cumberland County the complete opposite direction to the west, includes Adams County, Franklin County, in our area, but then continues on through Fulton and Huntington and Blair and Bedford and Somerset, all the way out to Westmoreland County.
We're getting a look on the map right here. I mean, this is an entirely new swath of land for you to worry about. And you were telling me that you live pretty much on the border of where Cumberland County kind of goes from one district to the other district. You live in this district
I
now.
live in the new district, the 13th, but my house is, it's in Cumberland County, which is at the edge of the district. But it's a great district. I mean, in terms of for the future of my campaign, this is a very conservative district. It's probably the most conservative district of any of the new congressional districts in Pennsylvania. It matches my conservative values. So I think there's opportunity in terms of at least a success for my campaign here in this new district.
How difficult is it to go from campaigning? Because you announced back in the end of September
of last year.
You were on here in October talking to us about starting to campaign up towards the Scranton area, and how difficult is it to all of a sudden this ruling comes down from the Supreme Court to do an about face and then have to switch to the entire western part of the state?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is the fact that we have been building a team. We've been gathering volunteers. I've been out working hard, meeting people all through these 9 counties that turn out no longer to be in the geographic region that I'm running in. So we've got to quickly rebuild a volunteer organization. Reaching out to folks in Adams County and Franklin County. We still have Cumberland County. That's the common denominator between the two, but then heading west. So it's very challenging to build that new campaign team.
And it's important to note that it's not just you, it's many other congressional candidates.
Every congressional candidate and even all the sitting congressmen in Pennsylvania are facing the same dilemma of suddenly having no choice but to begin to collect signatures and run in a brand new district.
So as you start to campaign, meanwhile, there's, I guess, the Republican leaders, your colleagues, are trying to get a stay on this decision with the Supreme Court based off of what they call saying that this decision by the state Supreme Court was unconstitutional. So what happens then, theoretically, if the U.S. Supreme Court says, let's wait, this is unconstitutional what the state Supreme Court does? What then happens to these maps and what happens to you?
It's uncharted territory. But if the U.S. Supreme Court would intervene at this point, I believe it would mean we would have to start the petition period over yet again and potentially run back in the old configuration, which is just whiplash times 2 if that happens, and really tough on the voters. I mean, that's the thing. I understand, we're not here to talk about the merits of the legal cases today, more just the practical impact, but it's certainly creating a lot of chaos for voters, for candidates, and if we get pushed back again to another scenario, that's just going to add another layer of chaos. But right now, all any candidate can do, myself and others, is move forward in good faith. I mean, I've literally been praying about this, and at the end of the day, I trust God that He knows what He's doing, and I'm just called to run for this office and do the best I can.
And the May primary is right around the corner. While I have you, I want to talk about state issues. The budget came out earlier this month, $33 billion, no broad-based taxes. Is this a good start with the Republican caucus?
This is the best start we've had in the 4 years with dealing with Governor Wolf in terms of the annual budget situation. He's not asking for as much, although he's still asking for more spending than necessary. We'll be able to push him down a little bit on the spending to keep it within the rate of inflation, but really this is the budget where, for the first time, we're starting from points that aren't that far apart from the Republicans and Governor Wolf, which is at least a step in the right direction.
Items like the state police municipality fee, the natural gas tax on Marcellus Shale, and the minimum wage hike are all items which he introduced last year that didn't find its way into the budget. Do either of those 3 have a chance at seeing their way into the final product?
I don't see any of those things happening. Certainly, we don't need a third tax on Pennsylvania energy production and energy consumers. Certainly, we've debated those issues before, and I don't believe there are the votes in the House or the Senate to support Governor Wolf in those endeavors. But if he, as long as he's not pushing for the broad-based tax increases, we can bring that spend number down to within the rate of inflation. We can actually get a budget done on time this year with no new taxes yet again, and keep Governor Wolf from getting all that additional spending he wanted.
And it is an election year, so everyone's going to want to get that budget done on time. State Representative Stephen Bloom running for Congress in the 13th District, at least for now. Thank you for joining us on the Fox 43 Capitol Beat, and we'll be right back.